I have a message for all of you that have watched my channel to this point, specifically the slap battles videos, as most of you have watched. Maybe you like my videos and have seen plenty of them. Maybe you haven't watched any and for some reason clicked on this video. You're kind of weird. Regardless, for those of you that don't know, I do tier lists on this game, slap battles. Why? Because I have fun ranking gloves in a more competitive setting, since I, like many players, love to use gloves to get a lot of kills and slaps. I also like using the underdog gloves, or basically gloves that aren't perceived as good because of how most players use them. For an example, you may see Dream as this nuisance that isn't really threatening to you, but is incredibly annoying to deal with, kind of like a fly. I see Dream as this combo machine capable of throwing a player across the map if the conditions are right, and thus gain a bunch of slaps from it. That being said, I want to start covering every new glove from here on and give them an individual ranking like how I do with tier lists. There are a few reasons for this, and stay with me for this because this is gonna be a lot. Firstly, do you know how many gloves there are? Like, do you have any idea? My last tier list covered over 100 gloves. Slap battles updates weekly, and I don't recall a single time where they failed to release a glove, but maybe they did once or twice. There are 52 weeks in a year, meaning there are going to be at least 52 new gloves, and I say at least because rarely they will release more than one if there is like a Slap Royale update or something, but I don't cover those anyway, so I don't know if that really matters. I managed to keep those videos within the half-hour range only because I was more vague with my explanations as time went on. I don't want to continue doing that, and I don't want to have to cover 200 gloves in a single video next year. I'll explain what my plan is in a bit. The second reason is a bit more personal, as it's just a slight annoyance I have to deal with. Literally every week, after every tier list, I, for some reason, get people saying, you forgot X glove. I don't know why. I think some people just see a tier list, don't see the only glove they care about, and just think I forgot it, even though it came out after the video. Sometimes they will say I forgot a glove when it's literally in the video. If it's not that, I will get comments asking for a new tier list, starting roughly a month after I publish the video. I want to quickly say that those tier lists take absolutely forever to make. And it's a simple reason. It's because I don't just quickly talk about a glove and then throw it on a tier list, and then talk about a glove, and then throw it on a tier list, you know? There's a lot more going for it. I have to record all 100 plus gloves and not perform like doo-doo with them, which can already take many, many hours to do, considering I spent at least 10 minutes per glove to avoid using boring or amateurish footage. For quick math, this is, again, at least 10 minutes, because, you know, I don't use every glove in the game, believe it or not. I know, crazy. Which is the minimum time I spend on a glove, 10 minutes. This comes out to be approximately 18 hours, assuming every glove only took 10 minutes to record, which it doesn't. Nerd emoji. I then have to think about where I believe they should go in one giant tier list, which also takes several hours depending how complicated the gloves are. I then have to dismantle the tier list, like take everything out, and then put them back in their proper spots, but this time recording it for you guys to give it some more life instead of just a PNG changing every time I show the tier list. And then I type up a script, trying to think of any convincing reasons why a glove is in the spot it is, especially if it's not obvious, and try not to make it sound as boring as possible. Just compare the time it takes for you to think and type up an essay for school, and you'll get a rough idea of how long it takes. Very, very, very rough idea, because I'm pretty sure your essay doesn't, you know, go beyond 3 pages most of the time. My last tier list had about 27 pages of text, and you can probably round it down to like 24 because I like to put spacing in between each glove so I can read it easier. I obviously have to then record that audio, which takes about 5 to 10 minutes longer than the video time itself. Like if you see a 27-minute video, it might take up to like 37 minutes of audio to record all of it, because I make a lot of mistakes in my speech, and I have to cut down a lot of the pauses so the video isn't silent. It doesn't just, you know, again, have like awkward pauses like that. And then I edit everything. Yet another, I want to say at least 10 hours with this kind of video. It's nothing complicated, but it's a lot of tedious edits you have to do over and over again, and as such, I tend to dread editing the tier list because of how boring it is for these videos. I do enjoy every other part of the video, but editing tier list does a number on you. This is all not to say I don't want to make tier lists, but it's definitely unreasonable for you to tell me I should cover every single glove in the game in a video every month or so. Still with me? Lastly, I kind of don't want to make a video about the funny haha moments of every glove. It's not that I don't have fun in the game, it's not that I don't enjoy making videos for slap battles, but sometimes with my family, I simply don't have the time to sit down and actually have fun without them thinking I'm too loud. That, or there is a glove that just doesn't really have much going for it. I think a great example of when I started to be about gloves is when Confusion came out. It's just a glove that inverts other players' movements. I understand making slap battle gloves requires a lot of thinking, and sometimes you will release a glove that isn't as good, cool, or unique as the others. It's completely understandable, just like how it should be understandable that I shouldn't be expected to make funny haha moments about every glove. Because hitting someone and seeing them walk backwards for 3 seconds before they figure out their controls are inverted can get boring pretty fast compared to gloves like Ultra Instinct, where we had a blast for literal hours, and still today is one of my favorite gloves I've messed around with. Like, it was one of the very few gloves where even if the entire lobby tries to like harass me, I still had a ton of fun. So what's the plan? Well, you see this on an influx of how to use gloves recently? I want to catch up with those so I can release one of those every month. And I want to make a video on every new glove like you saw with the Necromancer video. Styling the video that way at least allows me to give full input on a glove while also showing any funny moments I had, if any. It's informative, it gives my opinion on them, I can give a tier list ranking, and it shows any funny moments. It's like a nice packed video full of literally whatever I want to put in it. This gives me more freedom, and then I won't have to feel guilty for missing a glove 1 week, since I won't feel as pressured to match the quality that some of those funny moments videos had. Then, as a bonus, again, I can give a glove their ranking in that video as well. This way I won't have to deal with people asking about a specific glove. I can instead just direct them towards a playlist I made. Now, this doesn't mean I won't do tier list videos. I just don't want to cover all of the gloves when my opinion on 90% of them doesn't really change, and therefore I just end up repeating myself in those videos. Instead, I want to make a tier list every year that only covers every new or changed gloves, so that way I'm only talking about maybe 60 gloves instead of 200, which gives me a lot more room to say what I actually want to say about the gloves and maybe crack some more jokes to keep it entertaining. So I'm going to make one last tier list covering every single glove. When? Probably January. It just feels right to make them at the beginning/end of the year, but I also want to try and catch up with those glove tutorial videos before I make the tier list, so the tier list will probably end up being made in, like, I don't know, January, February because of that. If you like this idea, maybe give some support to the Necromancer glove video I created, and let me know if you have any questions. But before you ask, no, I will not be covering every single glove individually, just because it will take 10 years to do so, and I simply don't enjoy playing with every glove. It's better to just cover the new gloves. They're fresh to me. Even if they suck, it's at least a fresh experience. I know this video was a bit more boring and maybe was confusing for some of you, but I just wanted to actually make a proper video explaining what's going to be going down with this channel in the future, so none of you are confused about that. I just don't want to feel like I have to make a video I won't have fun making, and doing it this way will give me a lot more time to make the more unique videos like tournaments, that Blocks Fruits video I made, and any other unique videos you may or may not have liked. Maybe there was a video on a different game you really liked. And I know a lot of you have enjoyed like the One Life video on slap battles, or maybe the gun game video, so I definitely would like more time to work on cooler things like that. And doing this change up in my normal content will hopefully allow you guys to enjoy the slap battles content, while still giving me the freedom to work on other videos outside of slap battles, instead of just going silent for like 2 weeks, like I tend to do, because I just want to, oh yeah, I want to make this video, and then I just put all of my time into it, and next thing you know, I'm like inactive for a month. It's horrible, I know, I'm sorry. So at least this way, a lot of you will enjoy some slap battles content, and then also you'll get some unique content. I'll have plenty of time for that, since the Necromancer video doesn't take a ton of time to make, especially if I don't have to wait until nobody's around to record the funny haha moments, or, you know, whatever. Talking about how much time I actually have to work on a video and when I can and all that is a little more complicated. I'm not gonna go over that, I'm sorry. That all being said, make sure to join my Discord if you can and haven't already, as I will probably be hosting more events obtaining the new gloves soon. However, I might lock it behind a rank to prevent trolls from coming in and ruining that, because I'm sure a lot of you, you know, there are a lot of fans that like to ruin everything for fun and think it's funny, and I don't know, man. You do you, but I'm gonna lock you out. So have fun with that. I want to thank all of these members for supporting my channel. You guys mean a lot to me, and I definitely owe these guys more videos as well. I've honestly been a bit overwhelmed with my current family situation and feeling like I'm not doing enough for this channel, but I can't always work on the videos I want to work on because I don't want to be a bother for the people around me, and thus I have to wait until they are not around, which might sound confusing to you. Don't worry about it if it is. Thanks for watching. I hope you look forward to the changes this channel is going to go through for the next few months. Just bear with the huge amount of slap battle videos you're going to see. It's temporary. I'll go back to a more normal schedule after I catch up on these videos.